Buddy, I'm super excited about this interview. I have my girl Chelsea Best on here, and I want to give you a title, but I feel like there's so much that you do, so I'm just gonna call you the clothing queen.
The clothing queen. I like
I
that.
know, right? Isn't that really good?
That's my new
Um,
Instagram handle.
yeah, I love it. She's the clothing queen, and she's going to share so much good stuff with you guys today. But first of all, let's just start out with you and who you are. Who is Chelsea?
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to Sam and I. Sam and I go way back, so this is exciting for
This
me.
is exciting.
Gosh, who am I as a person? I feel like I don't know. My friend Erica said it perfectly. I'm kind of the jack of all trades. If you ask me how to do something, I probably know at least a little bit about it. That's just like how I was raised. But just like a little about me, I am almost 30 years old. I'm 28. I originally grew up in Pennsylvania and I just moved to Florida. Not just, it's been 4 years now. I moved to Florida 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years in October. And I just like wanted a fresh start with my life. So I didn't really have a clear direction of what I wanted to do whenever I was like 23, 24. There just wasn't a lot of job opportunities at the time back then where I grew up. And what I wanted to do with my life just was not happening there. So I was like, I'm going to go to Florida. I could have honestly picked anywhere, but I chose here. And I have just been making it work ever since then. I've always wanted to do something with fashion. I did not go to school for fashion. I have a lot of people that ask me about that. It was just one of those things that I was born with. I feel, and I got a lot of it from my mama. Got it from my mama. My mom was a big fashion queen. She sewed a lot of her own clothes in high school and college. She was like voted best dressed in high school. And like a lot of like my fashion knowledge came from her and my aunts. So it's just been a part of my life for a very long time. I've had many jobs where I did stuff with clothing and I just fell in love with it. Like anything that had to do with clothes, like I would go out with my friends and dress them up. When it came time for homecoming and prom, I was with every single one of my friends. Like my mom wanted to murder me sometimes because I was out on school nights picking out their prom gowns for them. Like instead of being at home doing my homework, like I could care less about my math homework. Like, no, like girl, I want to dress you up. Like
Right.
I lived for it. And for a little while, I kind of lost myself in the fashion process because I always felt I wasn't qualified enough because I didn't have a degree in it. I felt that nobody would care about what I had to say because I didn't have a piece of paper that like stated that. I wanted to go to fashion school really bad in California or even like at Kent State, which was like by where I grew up, but it just wasn't in the cards for me because my mom was sick for a couple years and I just couldn't do it. And I like gave up on it for a little while. So when I moved to Florida, it was like, I really should do this. I should try. Like, you can be whoever you want on the internet. So
Right. Oh my gosh, for
yeah,
sure.
and I just said, why not? And I started stumbling across these people through like hashtags that I was looking up that were clothing designers and like resellers. And I just said, I already know how to do all of this. And I just was like, that's it. I'm doing it. So I dove in about a year ago now. Yeah.
I okay, so I love that. And I love that you said that you were into it and then you felt like you just weren't qualified for it
Oh,
and you started
absolutely.
diving into a little bit and then you just kind of lost your like you just lost it. You stepped away from it and weren't doing it anymore. And I feel like so many people can relate to that. You know,
Yeah.
you get into something or maybe you're afraid to get into something because you don't think that you're have enough knowledge or you're credible enough or maybe you start something and it doesn't work out and then you stop and you get out of it. So this is so
Yeah.
great because you're showing people the way that it does work. You can learn anything.
Anything.
And I think that everybody could agree that we're also happy that you're doing it because it's awesome and it's awesome to watch you do it because you're doing so well. So, let's jump into the next question and talk about what is reverse activewear.
My baby. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this has been kind of on my mind for like a couple years now because I started working out like heavily 5 years ago. I was and am a Beachbody coach, and I was working out every single day. And I noticed that when I was working out from home or at the gym, I always was cycling through sports bras and leggings like no other. And I would try to reward myself. Like when I was doing a really good job with a program, I'd say, all right, I really want to go get a new workout outfit. And obviously the first place that I would go is Marshall's or TJ Maxx because it was affordable. Like I love Lululemon and stuff. Like I can't be rewarding myself with Lulu every single month. So I'd go into like Marshall's and I would find really, really cute workout tops, but then I could never find leggings that matched like all the different colored prints in the outfit. I'm like, gosh, like this sports bra is so cute, but it matches nothing. Or I don't have a shirt that shows off the back. So then I always felt like I was going out and about trying to find stuff to put this darn outfit together. And it like by the time like I found it, I didn't care anymore. And I was like on to the next thing. So I always felt too, when I was sifting through the racks, that I wanted vibrant, and everything was always black, gray, maybe a whitish color, like just plain. Like there was never anything that was like, bam, like it stood out. And like I liked bright sports bras because I was always taking photos and videos, and like I've liked that. Like it was a vision that I saw, and I could never find it ever. So one day I was doing laundry and I had just left my job. So this was October of last year. I was doing laundry in my boyfriend's man cave, and we were just hanging out, and I was folding leggings. And I'm like, I have so many leggings. They're literally all gray and black. Like, this is ridiculous. I said, wouldn't it be so nice and easy on my washing machine if I could just flip these inside out and they would be like a different color, and like more stuff would match together with like less stuff lying around so my closet isn't exploding, because I felt like I was spending so much money too, and like sometimes the quality wasn't even that great. Like it would fall apart, or it would just like not fit nice because I never try anything on. So then I was like, oh my God, reversible workout clothes. I'm like, that has to exist. So I Googled it. I'm literally, this like happened like in like overnight. I'm watching my boyfriend play South Park on PlayStation. I'm like on my phone on Google, and I'm looking. I was just like, oh my God, okay, reversible clothing. It exists. Like, this is stupid, Chelsea. I'm like, all right, reversible leggings. And I find them, but they're literally $160 for one pair. And they were from like higher end workout clothing lines, like Lululemon. Like, God love their buttery soft leggings. But I was like, yeah, okay. So there's those. And I didn't see anything else. And let alone a reversible bras and reversible leggings that come into a pair that match. I couldn't find that anywhere. It exists, reversible stuff, but nothing as a set that like has like a theme to it. So then I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a thing. Like I could do this. Like I started to come up with ideas, and I got onto some like wholesale sites, and I was typing in reversible leggings, reversible sports bra, and like stuff was coming up, and it said custom. I'm like, okay, well, like I could customize this to what I want. So I started messaging designers, and it blew, like, it just like became a thing. It was overnight. Like I never thought that would happen to me, like overnight, you know, like, I don't know, you hear that overnight success, but like literally, like I came up with it in like 4 hours.
And you know, that's so cool because I feel like so many people have ideas that they just don't follow through with.
No, because they just think it already exists, like, or it's stupid.
And I think it's really cool that you found a solution to a problem that you had.
Yeah.
And you literally just like followed that, and you just took action on that. It was that simple.
Yeah.
For reverse activewear, and like look what it's become now.
I know, and I didn't think it was going to be a problem for other people. I'm like, maybe people don't care like I do, you know. And then like people really liked the concept. Like I asked before I like launched. I did a poll on Facebook like last November, and I was like, would you guys like this? And people are like, yeah. So
everybody's like, yes, please do it. We love it. We want it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think like people would like this. So I was like, well, I'm going to do one collection just
Yeah.
to see. And then like here we are 8 collections later.
It's been 8 collections. Holy cow.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
have to do like a blowout, what, 12-month collection or
No,
something.
I wanna get like every model and like
Right.
big like thing, which with each model in their outfit or
That
something.
would be super cool. I feel like that's the Taylor Swift music video
Yeah,
where like all of them are lined up. That's so funny.
yeah.
I love how the whole journey of everything was just kind of like you taking inspired action.
Mhm.
Everything that you did was just like, well, let me just do this and do this and do this. So it almost seems like it was kind of easy for you to do because you had interest. It
Mhm.
wasn't like you had to think hard about the concept or the idea.
Mhm.
So were there any challenges and what were they? And
I had a lot of low key challenges.
yeah.
A lot of sleepless nights. Like I put a lot of pressure on myself because I came up with a launch day and
Mhm.
a cutoff day. I'm like, all right. So the deal was with my designer was she said you need to have 100 ordered. Like you need to have 100.
Wow.
Of course, me, I'm like, I want 1,000. Like I literally was like, I'm doing this. But
Right.
she said it's 100 because you don't want to do just like 5 pieces because it's very hard on them to sew
Mhm.
with such little amount. They want lots of fabric, because they're hand doing all of this. And she's like,
Wow.
you want 100 because it makes the quality better. It screws up their sewing machines and stuff too if they're just doing a couple. Doesn't make sense. I was like, challenge accepted. But like, here I am with a new concept that I just launched with no following. And yeah, I'm just like, I made a clothing line and it was very stressful. I'm like, I have to hit 100. I have to hit 100. I have to hit 100.
Mhm.
So we got pretty darn close. We got to 70. So I sold 70 boxes. So,
Was
of
that the
course,
first month, the first time?
yeah.
Wow.
It was our pre-launch. And the really cool thing is that my original concept is I was taking all the pre-orders and the pre-order money to buy the items.
Right.
I wasn't like forking out a bunch of money ahead of time for something that maybe wasn't going to work out. That way people were invested in the box and then they're getting their items and I wasn't out money, but I didn't hit 100. So I had to pay for those 30 extra pieces
Wow.
and shipping and the material and all the water bottles because I could not get the water bottles on the manufacturer that I was using
Mhm.
because their minimum order was 1,000 and I only needed 100 water bottles. So I had to buy them on Amazon and I paid like full price for those. So, and I hand put my logo on every single one, 100 of them. Mike and I were just sitting there peeling logo stickers off onto water bottles, but I didn't even care. I'm like, I was so excited about it. I'm like, it's fine. So that was scary. Like I had a lot of sleepless nights where I'm like, wow, like I'm out like a decent amount of money and
Mhm.
like what if I don't sell these extra pieces and like I'm stuck with these, like what am I going to do? So like I had to just put it on my credit card cuz I didn't have like thousands of dollars just lying
Right.
around. So it was like swipe and pray. That's like literally.
Right. No, and I have a question. So I I think it's so smart that you do the whole pre-launch where it's like,
Yeah.
give me your money and
And I will get your items, right?
that's almost brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know why more people don't do that because like if they want it, they're gonna pay for it. They're just gonna wait a little bit longer.
Right, and then
I
it just
know that
takes
they're invested.
right.
Yeah.
So, but for the first time, I guess for the whole pre-launch, you're going into this, it's a new idea for you. You have no idea really what's going to come out of it, but
Nothing.
you're basically asking these people for the money for
Have
like
faith in me.
an invisible an invisible product. Was that nerve-wracking for you?
Oh, I didn't sleep. I cried. I cried like a lot. I'm like, I work from home and my only other income is dogs and thrifting. So if I screw this up, it's like Billy Madison where he screams, "You blew it." Yeah, that's me. I was like, "You blew it." Like
Well,
Mike was gonna go nuts. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I was a mess.
But I love, I love this so much because I feel like everybody has these great ideas, but there's all these what ifs, and it's almost riskier to take the chance to do something than it is to not do it. You know what I mean?
The
And
money's the biggest holdup.
right. And that's why it's like so cool to hear, to see your success, but then to hear you say in the beginning, this was just like what I did and what I went through. And now it's like
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. And it's like, it just took, it was just me talking about it at first, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody saw it on more people. Like, it was just me. I'm like wearing it. I'm like posing. I had no models. I
Yeah.
was showing it off. And then I said, the real magic is going to happen when these boxes go out and these girls get their hands on it and they start taking pictures in it and they start posting about it. And then their friends see and their friends see. And, like it'll start to just do its own thing. It'll start to unravel. But like right now, it's all on me. And I was modeling all this stuff. And like, I just felt like a broken record sometimes. I'm like,
So
here's
at
my.
what point in the process, because it's been I guess 8 months, really? I mean, it's been longer with the whole idea of it and everything.
October will be a year. Yeah.
Okay, so October. At what point this past year did you feel like it was like happening?
The
You
cheetah
know,
box.
when?
The cheetah box.
Okay, so that was the one that I did.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You know why?
Yeah,
Because the design was so cute. We
yeah,
did a video and
yeah.
like you and I had so much fun with that
That
shoe.
was fun.
And everyone was so excited because that blue box just went out, the pre-launch box, and they're like,
I
"Ooh,
see.
I want to get my hands on this and see what she's all about."
Right. And I
So,
think, yeah. Oh my gosh. So from October
mhm.
to what was that? March?
Yeah, March or
April?
April.
So that's October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So it's really 6 months, we'll say, where it took from you having this idea
Hmm.
to the point where you're like, okay, this is happening. Like this is a success at this point.
Yep.
I mean, that's 6 months, you know. So in those 6 months, was all of this kind of up in the air, doubt, risk taking, holding your breath, sleepless nights, you know. And so
So
many
much
people,
anxiety.
when starting something new, they expect overnight success or to
Yeah.
happen like, okay, this is my idea.
Hmm.
I'm taking a chance on it right now, and then if it doesn't work out the first time, or if I don't get enough feedback, or if nobody supports me, then I'm going to just quit, you know? And
Yeah.
so it's cool to see that you've said that it was a 6 month period where you're like, okay, now it's happening.
Yeah, and it's nice because when I get a collection in, I can use the income that we make from that collection to buy the next collection, and then it cycles. So,
Right.
not only are we making an income for our family, but we're making enough left over to buy more stuff. So now we don't have our subscription anymore. I can just buy it in bulk and sell it like next day.
So
Um,
is that what you're shifting more towards? Is not so much a subscription?
yeah, yeah, we got rid of the subscription. I
Oh,
just
I didn't know that.
it stressed me out so bad. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because everything's handmade. It takes a long time. It takes like we do
Right.
pre-orders for a month and then it takes a month for them to make it. So that's nearly a 2-month process for one collection.
Well, and you know what? This is such a great thing to talk about too, because when you get started with an idea or you have an idea of how something's going to happen in your head, and then as you go down and you're doing it, things change.
Oh
You
yeah.
have
Oh
to
yeah.
adapt, and not everything looks like or turns out the way that you thought that it would.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, "Well, why can't you do the subscription?" I was like, "Well, with other subscription services, they aren't making their own stuff. It's a third party.
Right.
Like there's so many manufacturers that give their stuff that's already in-house to these subscription services. Like they don't have to wait. Like this stuff's handmade. So like it takes a while." I was like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that anymore."
Oh, that's really cool that you kind of made that decision,
Yeah.
because in a way, you know, it's hard to let go of something that you were used to or
Yeah, I
that.
was reaching it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's awesome. So, through this whole process of reverse activewear, what was the biggest lesson that you've learned through it all?
Don't give up.
Yeah?
Don't give up. Like literally there were so many times where I was like, I'm gonna run out of ideas. I'm
Yeah.
people are gonna get tired of it. It's gonna be a fad. I literally thought like this is gonna be a fad. I'll have my 15 minutes of fame, and eventually people will stop like wanting to buy it, or all the people that were buying and we were successful will stop buying, and I won't have new people
Yeah.
that'll want it. Like I won't grow quick enough, and I just had to keep like shifting those thoughts to the side and just kept telling myself like keep coming out with better designs, keep coming out with better ideas, and ask your customers what they want instead of doing everything that you want, Chelsea, because I tend to take the reins over on things. But I ask people, I'm like, what do you guys want? They're like, we want shorts, we want hoodies, we want reverse activewear beanies. Like they want like accessories and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I ask, like I take to the internet and like use it as my lifeline. That's my lifeline.
And I love that. It's really cool for you because every month you get to almost, we'll say, start over. Um,
Right.
so my question is that, I know that you start over kind of technically every single month, but if you could go back to the beginning, is there anything that you would do differently?
I probably, oh gosh, like when I like before I made my first design,
Yeah, just,
I wouldn't have done the subscription at all.
yeah,
Yeah. That like really, really screwed me up. I'm like, I was getting stressed, and then people's stuff it wasn't done in time, and I had a lot of like emails where people were angry at me,
hmm,
and like people that were getting charged for like their third box when they didn't get their first one yet,
oh,
and a lot of money that like I was trying to handle, and
right,
I didn't like it. I just felt like it was ruining our credibility as like a new company, having all this money floating around. Obviously it's going to something that's coming back, but it's taking
right.
so long, and we live in such a fast-paced time right
I
now.
know right now.
Amazon Prime next day delivery, fast paced. So for these people to be waiting months for their stuff and like to be nice to me about it, I'm like, I have to get rid of this subscription.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't have done it, but I didn't know in the
right.
beginning.
And you
Like
don't know.
I
There
didn't think it was
really
gonna
is
work
no
out.
way to know. You
I
know,
thought she'd make it in like 2 weeks and send it, and she's like, "No,
yeah.
honey, 1 month." I was like,
Holy smokes, right?
"It's only
No,
gonna get longer the more we grow."
right. Now, no, and I think that it's really cool because in anything that you ever do, there's all these little lessons that you learn that you go back and you're like, that's why I said it's cool that you get to kind of start over every single month because it's like
Exactly.
what worked for me last month. What can I do to make this better this month? Or what didn't work? Or what can I cut out? And
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
able to say like I'm cutting out the subscription, like that takes a lot of guts sometimes to change what you promoted something as, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, we had to change formulas in our leggings, and sometimes like I sent leggings out and a lot of the girls were like they're too slippery. I'm like, "Okay, like, like I'm ever evolving." So,
Right. And that's you have to be. In today's world, especially whenever there's so many options, it's like to
yeah.
stand out, you have to evolve and
Yeah.
adapt and change. So let's kind of flip the script a little bit here.
Okay.
And I want to talk to you about flipping clothes because you have been doing this and killing this game for gosh, years now, right?
Yeah.
And so talk to us about what do you do with flipping clothes?
Okay. So, I used to call it like I was a thrifter. Like, but I actually like being called a reseller. It sounds more professional.
That's cool,
But
yeah.
like I pretty much like I go to Goodwill and local thrift stores like mom and pop places, garage sales. I have girls that message me with their clothes to buy off of them and stuff that I flip too. So like I do all sorts of things now. But it's crazy because I've been a part of the reseller community since I've been 11 years old.
Wow.
I was on my parents' eBay. I did like a big story about this on Instagram, but I was on my parents' eBay account when I was 11 years old, and I was helping my parents flip motorcycle parts for my dad. So he had a lot of stuff lying around from his shop, and we'd clean the parts up and then sell them and then take them to the post office. And like I would help my mom with that. And it was so fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can buy beanie babies on here. So like I'd be on there bidding on beanie babies because like I was like fifth grade. So
Babies, that takes me back.
yeah, it was like 2000. 2000, 2001. So they were still kind of like popular then.
Yeah.
And I'd be on there bidding on Beanie Babies and like thought I was so cool. And I would go thrifting all the time with my mom at like local places to find vintage pieces from my aunt in California, like jadeite and stuff from like the
Oh
50s
my
and
gosh.
60s. We would hunt for jadeite. Like that was like our thing. And it was just so funny because I had so many clothes, and I just remember like buckets of clothes that I would either throw away or donate or whatever, which donating is great. Y'all keep doing that because that's how I pay my bills. But I just realized like I could probably profit off of my clothing. So fast forward like way ahead because we took a long break when my mom was sick and we weren't doing eBay as much and I didn't have anything to sell.
Mhm.
And I had a bunch of my own clothes to sell, and this was 2011. That was 10 years later. Yeah.
Wow. 10
Yeah.
years later?
Yeah. 10 years later, after being on my parents' eBay, I was starting to sell my own clothes, and I had people come to my house and buy them. So I'd post an album on Facebook, and then these girls would come to my house and just pick the clothing up and pay me in cash or on PayPal. Then I ran out. And then I would get some more about a year later, and then I found Poshmark. And I only sold my own stuff on Poshmark. So, I was cycling through stuff, but it wasn't consistent because I would run out of clothes. Like, I only had so much that I could sell. And I just remember in my head, I'm like, God, I'm making such good money doing this, but then I'd run out. And I never once in my life thought I could like resell other people's clothing. Like, I always thought it was like dirty. I'm like, it's dirty. It's gross. Like, why would I do that? Like, I always had this like misconception about the Goodwill. I'm like, that's grimy, like not going there. Like, now that's like all I wear is Goodwill clothes. But when I moved here, I was still flipping clothing on Poshmark, and I'm like, God, this is so fun. I really like doing this. And then I would run out. This is like a constant hamster wheel effect. So
Yeah.
I was at my job that I hated. I hated that job so much. And I was on YouTube listening while typing how to work from home for myself successfully, quick. Because I've done work from home jobs before. Like I said, I did Beachbody before and I still am. It just wasn't paying my bills enough. So I was trying to figure out what else I could do on top of Beachbody so that I could get home quicker. Because that's a whole other beast in itself that takes a long time to build.
Right.
And I needed something like fast that I knew I was good at. So up popped this video from this girl, and I love her so much. She lives in Colorado. Her name's Just Thrift It, and we're the same age. And she left her corporate job to thrift full time. Like, it was like a very good paying job too. So I'm like, I'm tuning in to her and like listening to what she has to say. Right. And I went to Goodwill that day after listening to her video, and I stocked up on my own stuff. I spent like $50 or $60 at the Goodwill just to see if I could do it. It wasn't a ton of money, just to see like what I could get out of it. And I was hooked. I like sold all of it. I'm like, this was so easy. And I said, oh my God, I'm going to quit my job. And I literally left my job. So I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is amazing. Yeah, I used like my last paycheck that I made there for lighting and like, supplies and stuff to like thrift for like poly mailers and everything like that. But then I felt like I was home again. Like, I literally like my home. Like, I was like, wow, like this is like what I have been doing since I've been a little girl. And like, I just like felt this like sense of completion. I'm like, I can do this anywhere I want. I can travel thrift. I can go to the West Coast. I could go to Texas. I could go up home. Like, I can do this anywhere. And
Really cool.
I felt trapped at my job. Like, I literally was like, I'm trapped here. Like, this is awful. So when that, like, I finally had the courage with it again, I'm like, done.
Yeah.
Done.
So cool. I mean, it's really, and again, you had an idea and you ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, good for you, honestly. That's really cool. So how much time does this take you? Like, do you feel like you work more, or do you have like, because you have so much freedom? Like, what does the time difference?
It doesn't really feel like work because I dabble in it all day.
Mhm.
I honestly work off of Mike's schedule because he goes to work and he's on 2 days right now. So he'll wake up and go to work at 8 a.m. until like 3. So I work from 8 till 3
I
in
see.
that window. So no matter what I'm doing, whether it's something for reverse activewear, reselling, sharing my Poshmark closet, I'm going thrifting. Like as soon as he gets up, I'm out the door to go to the thrift store. Packaging stuff that takes a long time. It's very tedious to
Yeah.
like package everything, print out the labels, cart it out the door. And then when he gets home, that's my break period. So from 3 until like 7 or 8, like
Mhm.
I cool off. I'll go work out. I will take a nap. We'll watch a movie. We'll make dinner. Like, any of that. And then he goes back for his evening shift. And then in the evenings, I'm working. I'm doing all my internet catching up, my emails caught up. Like, so I'm pretty much on 2 days. That could change.
Right. So, how often do you go to Goodwill?
Ooh, well, I love going. So it's more of like, how often should I not go? Because I go a lot and it's so much fun. Like, it is fun for me. Like, it's like a treasure hunt every time. You want to hear something? There was a woman there. When did I go? Sunday with my friend, and the cashier was so mad. And she knows me. She's ringing me up. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, why are you mad today? And she goes, this lady just came here and she got a Louis Vuitton for $4. Real. She's like, it smelled so good. It was so soft. She's like, I can't believe they priced it for $4. And I was like, where is she? I like wanted to find her in the parking lot. I wanted to hunt her down. So like
Right.
from you don't know what you're gonna find. Like, gosh, like it's just so fun. But to answer your question, I go twice a week. I try to go
Okay.
twice a week. My friend and I like to go on Sundays. Like we go Sunday mornings together, and then I usually go like Tuesday,
Okay. That's
which was today, and I didn't go today. So maybe tomorrow.
normal. And the cool thing is you can change, and like that's why you got into it is because the freedom is, and that's why I was asking you about times and all of that because I think a lot of people want to do work from home and
Yeah.
don't realize how much time it actually takes to do work from home.
Self motivation is the hardest thing to obtain. Like,
Right.
because I could lay around all day and watch Shameless and lay on my phone. So it's hard because I'll put my work off, but it's also so rewarding because like I can not work when I want and then I can work when I want. Like nobody tells me otherwise. So
Right.
it's nice.
That
If I want
is
to take
very
the day
nice.
off, I'll just take the day off.
Right.
So
So you basically have two clothing businesses, right? You have reverse activewear and you have your resale business.
there's a lot of
So
clothes that go in and out of this
I
house.
was gonna say there's a lot of clothes that go in and out. Do they kind of support each other? Do you bounce ideas off of each other, or is it just how do you manage both of them?
So it's really nice because I can talk about both hand in hand, like on my Instagram page.
Uh-huh.
But I like it because my ideas are ever evolving. Like it's so cool because like even when I'm out thrifting, I'll like see stuff. I'm like, God, that would be like a really cool print on my designs. And my customer service has gone through the roof because of both. Um, Handwriting little cards, being very diligent about getting orders out because it's easy to put orders off too, and it was easier to put them off with like eBay and Poshmark because they give you like a week to get it out, whereas with reverse activewear, like that's my company and people want next day or 2 day shipping, and if I'd put it off, I'd get an email and be like, why don't I have it yet? And I didn't have a good reason. So like I'm like, gosh, like people want their stuff like now. And I'm like, duh, Chelsea, like this is a business. So it's made me very diligent about customer service. Like, and I just feel like if it wasn't for reselling all these years and like really knowing the ropes on packaging and all of that, like I might be a little more behind,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
And I just want everybody who's listening right now to hear kind of Chelsea's journey and just hear how everything that she's done has led her to where she is.
I
It doesn't seem like there's been like, yeah, you thought about reverse activewear or you decided to take a certain inspired actions, but everything that you've done has like stemmed from, like you said, like growing up, you were in the resale business essentially, and all of this stuff, you just kind of like it's led, just and
Absolutely.
and just paying attention in your life, just being aware. And if something feels like you should do it, just freaking do it. And there's always going to be risk involved. And you're always going to think, am I qualified? Am I good enough? Is anybody going to buy it? But Chelsea is the perfect example of like, I'm just going to try it and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Like, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work out. Like, how many people do things that like fizzle out? Like, you just figure out the next best thing. Like, every little thing that you do leads to the bigger picture. Like, if I backtracked my life 20 years ago, like literally, like, all those little things I was doing was actually leading up to like my future. And if I wouldn't have done, fitness, and I wouldn't have built a platform on Instagram around fitness and liking workout clothes and having a bunch of friends that love fitness and were like all about my clothing and all of that, like none of this would be here. So like if I wouldn't have made the choice to get into that lifestyle 5 years ago, none of this would even be a thing.
And that's so true, because I think like that sometimes we go through stuff and we're like, why me?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Or like
Yeah.
you don't understand why, but it's like, oh, you have no idea what lies ahead for you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what lies ahead for you because of everything you've been doing. It's like it's so cool to watch you blossom in all of this.
It's fun to share it with my friends because I've
Yeah.
like, started from the bottom, now we're here type thing.
Literally. I mean, it's
Everyone,
been
you
an
guys have seen me at my
cool.
lowest. So
Yeah.
now we got to go up.
Oh, I love it. It's incredible. So what has being an entrepreneur done for you?
Gosh, it's given me like a sense of purpose. Like
Yeah.
purpose, because I just always felt like I never would be successful unless if I was in a high-rise office building in like Manhattan or Los Angeles doing something, and you only make it if you're making six figures a year out of the gate. And I don't know, like I was just chasing all the wrong things. And now like that I've like really set myself down and like sat back and like have evaluated my life, because like I don't know, almost turning 30 like does weird things to you, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm almost done with this decade of my life. Like, am I proud? Like, am I proud of what I've done? And then I'm like, well, what can I do in the next 10 years when I hit 40? Like, what? And then, like, I get so excited and I just know what I'm capable of. And if I wasn't an entrepreneur, like, there would be a ceiling over my head
Yeah.
right now. But since it's up to me, like, I wake up every day, like, what can I do? Like, what can I do to, like, get me to where I want to go?
Right. What would you tell someone who's just starting out or who's thinking about getting into whether it's the clothing business, the resale business, or just starting their own company?
Your idea is not stupid.
Oh, that's good.
It's not. It's not. Like, I'm so excited we're doing this podcast. I've had so many messages from girls, and they're, asking me like how I got started and like how I learned how to do everything, and well, how did I figure it out? And then they tell me their idea. They're like, well, I want to do what you're doing. I'm like, well, you can't do what I'm doing, but what do you want to do?
Right.
That is like, like you can't do the same thing, but like, what do you want to do? And they'll tell me they're super cool ideas, and it's like so specific. I'm just like, that doesn't exist. Why haven't you done it yet? Why are you telling me?
Right.
Why aren't you on Google right now figuring this out?
Yeah.
Like we need more empowered men and women, especially that are in their 20s and early 30s, that like want to make a difference and like kick ass. So
I agree. There are so many people who have an idea. And that's why I'm so excited about you saying like that you just like did it, action, action, action.
just research.
People have ideas. And what always kills me, because obviously you know what I do.
Yeah.
And whenever I ask like, what do you want to do? People can tell you their exact plan, their exact idea in so much detail that you're like, why are you not doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And their holdup is just like a
Here.
process.
Right.
How?
Right, and just and it's so true. Like you said in the beginning, like there's all of these risks that you could take or that are going to be involved in from where you are to where you want to go. But really the biggest risk is not doing it.
Oh yeah, because then somebody else is gonna do it instead.
That's for sure. And
It will happen.
could you imagine in like a year if you didn't do reverse activewear and all of a sudden somebody came out and was like, "Oh, here's reversible workout clothes."
I know, I know. I'm like, there's no way. And
And
like I saw,
truly, what's crazy to think about is there's somebody out there right now who's looking at your Instagram saying, "I thought of that."
yeah, and they didn't do it, and I got a trademark, so you can't even come get me. So yeah, we did an LLC and a trademark, and like we did that as soon as like it felt real. I'm like, ooh, I'm like the follower count's starting to go up. I'm getting messages. Like
I need to do this.
I'm like, okay, we need to like be a little more professional about this because this is a thing now. This is a thing. So
Good for you. Um, so for the final question, slay is the new word for success. So what does slaying mean to you? What do you do in your life that makes you feel like you're slaying?
I just love empowering other people.
Yeah.
I just every day I wake up, I'm like, how can I broadcast this energy out to more people?
Yeah.
Because I'm just doing it all to myself and I'm just like real jazzed up right now. And like, I need more people to feel what I'm feeling. So, how can I do it? So, I
That's
like,
incredible.
I try to share because like, I get like, I'll share it and then I'll get messages from people. They're like, I need to do this. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so if I wouldn't have talked about it, would you still be sitting there sad? You
Right.
know?
And it's so true. I think that when we are just being ourselves or we're following our dreams, it almost like subconsciously gives everybody else permission to
Mhm.
be themselves and follow their dreams.
I just want to broadcast the vibes.
Yes, I love that. That's super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of the knowledge that you have. This has been so fun.
So
And
much.
I just want to tell you how cool it's been to watch you over however many years we've been friends, just kind of become who you are right now and do what you're doing. I mean, it's been really cool to just watch how every little thing you've done has just built up to be like, this is what Chelsea Best is doing now.
It's been crazy. It's been so crazy, but like I wouldn't be enjoying it as much if I couldn't share that with my friends and my
Yeah.
family. So it's been fun. It's been so fun. I've just been having a really good time. Like just I'm taking it a day at a time, but like I wake up every day happy. And I
Mhm.
think that's what's important first. Like paycheck second, like first and foremost be happy and like give that happiness to others.
Right.
The world can be a real crummy place. So
That's
like I just try to do my best to like give my little piece. Little,
yeah, and I think that for everybody, whenever everybody kind of wants to feel the same way in different aspects and different forms,
be
and
important.
trying to feel the same way. And how we do that is what makes us all individual and unique.
Yeah,
You know? And so it's really cool to just see you doing it and to sharing your happiness and keep doing it because it makes many people inspired and motivated and happy as well.
yeah, I love it.
I love it too. We'll stay on.
Oh,
But thank you very much for hopping on here. And where can we find you on social media? If people want to follow you, get
yeah.
reverse activewear, follow you on Poshmark, how do we find you?
Okay, so my main Instagram is Chelsea Eileen XO, and that is my main name on everything. So
Okay.
Poshmark, YouTube, Mercari, not my eBay. I don't share my eBay store. That's like my secret, you know? Like I can't give everything away, you know? So my eBay is my secret place, but I
Uh-huh.
do share Poshmark's a social selling site. So like Poshmark, it's all Chelsea Eileen XO. Reverse activewear is just reverse _activewear and you can instantly find me. There's like no other pages really similar to that name, so I'll pop right up.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. It's been so fun.
Bye.
Love you.